and we sat down and we had quite an interesting conversation. But I think that's the stuff that it's been allowing me to discern between this range of, this is an emotion and that's something else, and this is a thought or an idea that's come up, that's something else. So where in the center of all that am I? What do I need right now if I'm asking my soul, if instead of asking my emotions or thoughts? What is really the stuff that needs attention in this place? And it's been fairly transformative in my relationship to do that, and to share with him as well, that process, and for him to start to see that for himself, and to notice it with me, to notice it with our children, all of these things. It's like opened up a new language in our relationship for relating to one another. So it's made things feel more bearable, I think, because of that, separating out the emotions from what is the soul voice, that my emotions can run wild in me and take me along on some pretty ugly journeys of thinking that I must be feeling something and that must be the right thing.
Right.
Stuff come from.
Yeah. We actually make our thoughts concrete. We actually believe them, and they are not always true. And they do trigger feelings in us that are not necessarily true either. And to be able to discern and just to step away and back and say, okay, what is this? What are all the parts? I just love what you're saying, because nothing changed on the outside.
Yeah.
And like, we spent an hour and a half for 6 weeks, mostly you guys doing your inner work. And that's the power. I think that's the power of that higher consciousness, that when we can access it, it actually shifts how we see the world. Because it's all coming from a filter. And then we clear up that filter. Truly.
I just was remembering back to sitting on a park bench with a new friend recently, and I knew somebody I'd recently met. She's a mom as well. And she's got some very strong opinions about how to raise children. And I have opinions too, but I'm not. Anyway, so we were sitting there and some situation had happened, and she had started to make some comments in this kind of like really judgy, kind of aggressive way about this other mother that we were observing. And I started feeling some weird sort of sensations of like, do I agree with her? Do I don't? Like, my emotions kind of started coming up. I felt sympathy towards this other mom and whatever. And at some point I just had to stop and say, like, this person sitting next to me is in their own world right now. I don't have to be dragged along in some dramatic journey. And that feels like one of those places where this work has been really helpful, in that discernment process of like, that's you over there. I don't need to join in that current that you've caused in this water body here. And I want to protect guys. I don't want to join into that emotional weirdness that's not mine at all. Like, I didn't have the same sense that she did about the situation. And it's another one of those points where I felt like that's where this work has also been really helpful in that being able to contain myself, but to hold what's precious for me instead of being pulled out into something that doesn't belong to me at all. And I think that in terms of like my marriage, my relationship with my partner, just seeing that too, like when he's having things that's not me, I need to hang on to my core here, not let my emotions get yanked out in ways that I'm not giving. That's not me. I don't want that. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Oh my God. Yes. I was actually thinking, wow, I have this wonderful article I'm going to send you.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, I just, it's like, it warms my heart, because what else could I be doing but to be serving in this way? That it makes such a difference.
It does. It's a huge gift, I think. Yeah. Wow. I think it's amazing, Miriam, what you've put together. Yeah.
Well, thank you. It's a connection, my God. Also, like we had a special group.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to add as we close off?
I think that if anybody was thinking about taking the workshop, just my kind of post advice would be to just dive in willing to push yourself a bit. into things that may feel uncomfortable, whether that's in terms of that creative realm, because what we're doing feels really creative. Like we're asking, yeah, totally. And I love that.
Hell yes.
But that to not be afraid of that, I guess that there isn't maybe to say too, like there isn't a requirement for having a sense of being a creative person coming into that I have a feeling anyway that this work it's for anybody, but just to say that like for me as well, like finding, okay, I'm just going to be brave here. I'm just going to do this because I think I need to have this in my life. And I definitely need to have this in my life.
I mean, we are using imagination, and there's nobody that doesn't have that. We all have imagination. Yeah. And I like to bring different ways of accessing, who am I beyond that personality character I think I am.
Yeah. Truly. Yeah. My inner 4-year-old. Oh, and there's my inner 900-year-old. And there's everything in between.
And creating the life you want to create from who you are. Like the other piece that I want to end with is this, that we are looking always outside ourselves, thinking maybe something else has the answer. And we can spend so much time doing that and trying to say, well, I have to believe this, or I believe that, or like all, what you're saying here about the mothers and everyone having a different way of mothering and doing that. How do we end up with our own inner knowledge? That's so critical. There's just too much out there. That our souls know. Yeah. For us.
Totally. That inner knowledge and the strength to feel fortified, and that's my truth. I'm good with this. I don't need to be brought along into other people's. I welcome information, but that I have to be with discernment as we're exposed to that information.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
What a lovely time spent with you.
It was. Thank you. I was so sad when it ended. It's just happened so quickly. But it was powerful stuff.
You and I have more to come.
I hope so.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Miriam.
Have a great day.
You